Swan, let's start with you. Where are you at in your recovery right now? I know you had to undergo surgery.
Well, I had surgery last week, and well, it's still it's a long process, obviously. Just still try to get some fractions and get walking normally, and that's about it.
How disappointing was it for you to have your first season in Vancouver that had gone quite well up to that point end that way?
Well, it's always tough. Like, you always want to help. We were right in the chase at the time, and felt like I could have helped the team a little bit more. And guys still battle really hard, and but we still missed it. So that sucks. Like, as a player, you always want to play at that time of the year. But I'm really looking forward for next year. I feel like we really have some promising talent on our team, and as I'm growing older, it's nice to see it, and it feels like it brings you younger, even if you're going the other way. So it's nice.
What about the play in question that you got hurt on? Was it just kind of a freak accident there?
Yeah. I mean, I'm past that. I'm looking forward. I don't want to be stuck too much in the past. Looking at it and have resentment for sure. He wasn't coming. He gave me a present. He just coming in maybe to give me a good lick. Yeah, it's something we'll look in the future. But so far, I'm looking on my recovery and try to get back as soon as possible.
Just to follow up on that too, I mean, an ACL is pretty tricky. Recovery is usually minimum 6 months. It could be longer. Have you been told how long the recovery is going to be?
Well, they say 6 to 9 months. So, well, the worst case scenario will be 9 months for bring us to Christmas. But if it is Christmas, it'll be a nice gift for me to go back and play. I feel it's earlier, even better. But yeah, I haven't really put a timeline on it. I'm focusing on the worst and always hope for the better. So that way, there's no disappointment.
Jake, you played the left side recently, and I think you played that in the dub as well. Playing your off wing, how does that excite you in the sense? Travis was talking earlier about trying to figure things out for next year, and the fact that your big body can move well, that could possibly be a spot for you next year. I mean, how comfortable are you on your off wing, and how excited are you about the possibility that Travis may take a hard look at that?
Yeah, no, it was definitely a good opportunity for me to play with Brock and Petey on the left, and they're pretty fun players to play with. So yeah, no, I'm pretty familiar with it. I haven't played it in a couple of years, but I think after a couple of games I play on the left, it'll be pretty easy to get used to.
A lot of people reference the last 20 games. It's a grind. You're trying to get to the postseason. Everybody else is trying to get there too. It's hard to score. You had a career year, but what did you learn about the stretch drive and how tough it is to play?
No, it's definitely hard, and I think early in the season, we got some wins there, and and then we got to some hard games, and we had a couple losses, but it definitely shows what kind of teams go far in the playoffs, and guys make pushes, and I think we learned a lot as a team this year like that, and I think that as a young group, we saw other teams making pushes, and we want to be able to do that next year and the years moving forward. So we want to be able to team that's going to be making playoff pushes next year and years to come.
8-point improvement, got 9 points short of the last wild card spot. How do you close that gap? Can you do it from within?
Absolutely. I think it's got to come as a group. We got to be able to do it as a group, but we got to make sure that we talked about it in the room as a team, that we got to make sure that we're dialed in every night, and I know a couple times this year we were up a goal or two, and teams had a couple comebacks on us, and that can be the difference. So I think little things like that, but we're going to evaluate that as a team over summer and work on it coming into camp.
Quinn, hoping you can reflect on the few games you had up here and what it was like to be kind of the future of this, part of the future of this group.
Yeah, like everyone's saying here, I'm thrilled to be a part of this team just because I think it's such an exciting group. And, the guys really made me feel confident right from the get-go. So I really enjoyed my time. I wish I had 30 more games to go, but that's just not the case. But, yeah, I'm really looking forward to next year.
What does the summer hold for you? What will you be working on?
Probably just getting in the weight room, getting stronger, and faster. But honestly, I think I could probably work on everything. So, you know, the season ended a couple days ago, so I haven't really focused on that too much yet. But, you know, I'll get that going in a couple weeks.
Do you have to go back to Michigan for school at all?
Yeah, I'm going back tomorrow to finish up classes. So.
Kind of a weird switch of.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be weird going back, walking around on campus. Yeah, it'll be weird.
Can you talk a little bit about what it was like to play with Luke Shen, someone that you said that you watched him play in his first game when you were much younger?
Yeah.
What was it like to line up with him?
Really cool. Like you said, I remember watching him, you know, when he got drafted to the Leafs, and then, you know, his rookie season and everything like that. So he was unbelievable with me. I think he just he made me feel more confident just because his presence. You know, he played like 740 games, whatever it is. It's so many. And he just talks a lot on the ice and makes it easy for you. So I think he definitely helped my adjustment for sure. And, you know, I had a lot of fun.
I have a question for Ben Hutton. A year ago, we were looking for you because you had a tough year, and you told us in the hallway that you were going to work out like a demon, come back and kick sand in our faces, and have a really good year. What do you make of the transition, Ben? I mean, you did the work, you came back, you had a strong year, your contract's up, you're probably a no-brainer for an extension. What's it meant to you, and what do you take from the year in terms of having a turnaround year?
Yeah, well, it was definitely a bounce-back year for myself. You know, going into last summer, I wasn't happy with how last year went, and I knew that I need to put the work in to be able to, you know, to perform and play here. And that's the same what's going to go on this summer. I'm going to go back, same trainer, same skills coach, similar to what I did last year. I think I made strides in the right direction, and if I continue to do that, hope next year will be even one step better.
Where do you think you improved the most? You seemed your patience with the puck was there. You're making better decisions. Where do you think?
Yeah, I mean, confidence goes a long way. I think, you know, last year I lacked a bit of confidence, and this year, you know, getting in and Travis giving me an opportunity, I gained my confidence back, and with that, like you said, you have more patience with the puck. You know, you can make that split second decision and have confidence to make that play. So I think confidence goes a long way.
You were in a similar situation last year that maybe a guy like Nikolai Goldobin finds himself in this year. You know, people are wondering whether or not he can regain the coach's confidence, and you were able to do that. Would you ever give him any advice?
Yeah, I talked to Goldie a couple times, and he actually came to me because, like you said, we were in the similar situation, and I told him, you know, it's going to be a big summer for him. I mean, obviously, his coach is asking the most for you, out of you, and but at the same time, you know, Travis is honest with me. He was straight up with me, and he said, you know, if you put in the work, you come back and you're ready to perform, I'll give you your opportunity. So I told Goldie, you know, it's all about just putting in the work and trusting yourself. And if he does that, he should be fine because Goldie's a great young, talented player.
Jake, Travis said that you took a step this year, but there's still another step to take. In your mind, what is that step?
I think being a little bit more consistent in games. I know we've talked about that before, and no, I definitely thought I took a step this year, and you know, I think that I still have more to give, and I want to do it here and in Vancouver, and I love being here, and you know, I got some really good relationships with the guys on the team, and we're all really close in that locker room. So it's a great team and a great group of guys to be around, and I think that it was a really strong year for us. And you know, I think for me, like you said, personally, just taking that next step and being more consistent, and you know, not having a shift off, just playing my game throughout the whole game and the full 60 minutes. So yeah.
Quinn, was there any moment in your first few games where that was kind of a wake-up call that, oh, I'm in the NHL and I'm going to have to work on this specific element because I just got beat wide, or something happened on the ice that kind of woke you up? This is what the NHL is all about.
I don't think so, really. I think obviously there's things I need to work on, and I was like, you know, I could probably work on this or that, but you know, I don't think that surprised me. I knew I was going to have to work on things, and you know, it doesn't matter you know, how many years I play. I'm going to try to work on things every summer. So I think my mindset was just kind of you know, to come here, see what I could get better at, and then go into the summer with that.
Have you asked Hutton for his off-season workout plan?
I
wanna do
don't
it.
think
Come
I
on,
want it.
kid.
Quinn, how important do you think it was to not just get in 5 games, but you saw a desperate Nashville team last Thursday that was pushing, obviously, St. Louis the other day, like those teams that are going to the playoffs, they had something to play for. You know, when you're trying to set your baseline for what the NHL is, you saw a couple of teams that, you know, really kind of brought it to you guys, and you know, as a team, you guys pushed back, but just for you to be in that environment, sort of to get a taste of those types of games.
Yeah, I think just to have the experiences was really nice, and like I said, to go into next year playing a couple games is, you know, will definitely help. So I don't have to go through the summer wondering what it's like to play in the NHL. So, and then playing some really talented teams was cool as well. But honestly, I think it was just really fun for me to play in the NHL. I had the most fun the last couple weeks than I did probably the last year. So it wasn't even that much about like learning, and obviously it is about learning, but I think it was just about having fun, and you know, I really enjoyed myself.
Antoine, how difficult was it for you this past year to miss the start of the season, and what did you learn about that experience that maybe you can apply if you have to miss the start of next season?
I don't know. It's tough. Like it's like for me, it was a lot of change. Sorry, like in coming into a new team with new environment, getting in your new place, getting your family in, get to know the guys, and being hurt. Like most times, like you're cast away, so you don't see all the guys all the time. You're not on the same schedule, so it's kind of that's the hard part, and it's. I don't know, like it's gonna be it's my first big injury, and I'm really looking forward for working out like again and come in great shape, and it's missing time away from the guys. It's never a good thing.
Know about the guys at on the end, but Jake and Ben, have you had any World Hockey Championship contact? Is that on your radar at all?
No.
No.
I wish.
Questions? Thanks very much, guys.